good morning. My name is Benjamin Johnson. I'm an engineer with Volkswagen, so just right up the street on exit 9. And my training is in mechanical engineering. But one of the classes we have taken at Tennessee Tech is statics. And statics is the study of trusses, buildings, bridges, anything that takes a load, and ultimately needs to withstand an earthquake. Who can tell me a building that you think is the oldest building on the planet? Go ahead.
A giant pyramid?
A pyramid, perfect. Yeah. All right. Another example, or is that what you're going to say? Yeah, a pyramid. Go ahead.
Maybe like, caveman, cave.
A cave, okay. A building? Typically what shape are some of the buildings we use? Yes. So a saying we have in engineering is don't feel like you need to reinvent the wheel. Some of these buildings, like the pyramids in Egypt, and there's some pyramids in Mexico, pyramids in China, have stood through all kinds of earthquakes. I like this example, the cave, an arch, a dome. If you go to Europe, they love building in arches. And then the rectangle. You'll find that, just like the previous class that was learning about planes, your materials and the overall weight of your building is important to withstand the earthquake because it can get shifted. So let's go back to this topic of compression, tension, and bending. So, what are some materials that we use to build our buildings with?
Probably like, little tiny stones.
Stones? Yeah, write that on. Materials.
I
Stones?
mean, technically we do still use stones in the form of bricks, but then again it's used
Stones and bricks. Example here.
Metal?
Yes. Very crucial.
We use stones.
Metal. Any other examples here?
Square tiles.
Tiles? Yeah, tiles. You have to, if I misspell anything, you have to excuse me.
Iron.
Iron? Yeah, let's go. Yeah, type of metal.
Wood.
Wood. All right.
What do you say?
That's pretty good variety there. Now, each of these materials that we build have to withstand these types of forces. So compression. So I have here, think in your mind with your little toys here in your basket. What do you think the strongest shape in the alphabet will be?
Probably like an A, because the pyramids have withstand many earthquakes.
Yeah, very keen observations here. Go ahead.
I'm saying like a O because like if it's laying flat on the ground, it's stapled on the ground.
Yeah, how many of you have ever seen the science experiment where someone stands on eggs? They get an egg carton, and then it can hold my whole weight. Ovals and circles are very good at holding weight. M. Yes.
It makes one of the strongest because it does have multiple support beams.
You're right. That's just.
I was also thinking of N.
Yeah, those are good. That's a very good word there, support. You're all sitting in chairs, correct? What's your chair made of?
Wood.
Wood. Do you think it's important, the number of legs? You guys ever sat in a three-legged chair?
Yeah.
A stool, basically?
Yeah.
Yep. So I have two different stools on the board. And let's say I sit on this stool. And let's say I weigh 100 pounds. Not real, but let's just say. Let's say we put my wife on this one and she's 75 pounds. The number of legs on the chair helps support the weight. And in this scenario, it's equal. You have 25 pounds per leg, per support. Same thing here, 25. All great examples that have led back to these three words: compression, tension, and bending. So I have here I was hoping someone would say the letter C, but here we go.
Wait.
So, on your letter C, if I put a force here on the end, you'll see that the green straw is bending. Basically, the material is weak, the length is too long, and it bends. Now, if I turn the C sideways, when I put the same weight in the middle,
That's basically.
I have more support, correct? Now, what I want to show you is if I push on the green straw, I have compression on the blue and the red. You guys see that? Compression is this force of trying to squeeze. So if I push on the green, the blue and the red compresses. Now what's interesting, so I have bending. Tension is the opposite of compression. What is the material's capability to get pulled apart? And the best example is a piece of rope. Let's see if I have one. So a piece of rope, here I'll actually use this since we have it set up. A piece of rope is very good in tension. It's the opposite of compression. Compression is the pressing together of the materials, and we're going to pull on the rope. Not good in compression because it folds. But as soon as I pull it and put it in tension, it's very good. The reason that's important, so like you said, we have the pyramids, or this shape of the letter A, is able to withstand a moving table. Imagine that's a pyramid and this table's now vibrating. The weight is very low. We call that the center of gravity. It's very low in the structure. Now if I put this weight really high, way up here, like in our skyscrapers, and then the earthquake comes, this thing can really shift. And you'll see that once you get your equipment later. So, early in the 19th century, we invented something called concrete. I built a block of concrete. If you go down the interstate, what's sticking out of the concrete these days? Do you see bars sticking up out of it?
Yeah.
Sometimes they put the bars in these nice little grid shapes. That's actually steel, metal, iron. We call it wrought iron. Concrete is very good in compression, but as soon as you start to put it in tension and bending it, it's a stone. So it'll crumble, break, and snap. So in the early 19th century, we found out if we put iron in it, we can mix materials and make it very good for bending. So I want to give you guys some advice for your structures, and we'll wrap up with this. You guys make very good observations that a triangle, keep the center of gravity low. A dome, an arch, is very good to distribute the weight as well. My last piece of advice for your buildings, keep the center of gravity low, but also know if this is 100 pounds and it's 25 pounds per leg, what happens if I make one really small and one really big? Do you think they hold the same weight?
No, because they're not even.
Right, the diameter is now changed, right? But this wider leg can hold more weight. Let me show you this example. And this will be the final one, because I think you guys are ready to go. You're ready to build. Is this building stronger? Let me go over here so you guys can see. Is this building stronger if I leave it one leg or add a second leg on each one?
Yes. Second leg.
That's right, because it's now wider and can carry more weight. And that's the same on your chairs.
Wait, what?
If we made your legs wider, it could hold more weight. If you go to a high school, are their chairs made of wood?
No.
What do you think they're made of in high school? Metal. And you probably have some here. That's right. So you have, it's everything you guys have discussed this morning. You guys have all the pieces you need to have success. It's dependent on the material, the size, and the shape. And you guys will have fun experimenting to find out which one's the best.